Under the dim stage lights, with thick smoke hanging heavily in the air, stood a man with a face hardened by time and experience, holding a bass like a warrior holds a weapon. Lemmy Kilmister, like a rock and roll god descended from the night sky, channeled the wild energy of rebellious souls into every note he played. His voice, raspy like gravel crunching on a dusty road, called us to join a journey without direction, where freedom was the only destination, and music, the eternal flame. In a world where legends and reality collide, Lemmy was the polar star guiding us through the darkest nights, a symbol of unrestrained freedom and an indomitable spirit. Ian Fraser Kilmister, or better known as Lemmy Kilmister, is one of the greatest icons in the history of rock and metal music. As the founder, vocalist, and bassist of the band Motörhead, Lemmy not only left a deep musical legacy, but also became a symbol of rebellion, freedom, and compromising spirit. His musical journey is a story of dedication, the harshness of life on the road, and an unwavering love for rock and roll. Lemmy was born on December 24, 1945, in Burslem, Stoke-on-Trent, England. He grew up in Wales and became interested in rock music after listening to musicians like Little Richard and the Beatles. Before starting his music career, Lemmy worked as a roadie for Jimi Hendrix, an experience that strengthened his love for music and the rock and roll lifestyle. Lemmy's professional music career began when he joined the psychedelic rock band Hawkwind in 1971 as a bassist. Although Lemmy was initially a guitarist, quickly mastered the bass and brought an aggressive and fast-playing style to Hawkwind, adding a harder energy to their music. With Hawkwind, Lemmy achieved success with the song Silver Machine, which became a big hit in the UK. However, Lemmy's life with Hawkwind was short-lived. In 1975, Lemmy was fired from the band after being caught with drugs in Canada, an incident that became a turning point in his career. This event motivated him to form a new band, would become a legend in the world of rock and metal music. After leaving Hawkwind, Lemmy immediately formed Motörhead. The band's name was taken from one of the last songs he wrote for Hawkwind. With Motörhead, Lemmy had a vision to create rock music that was harder, faster, and more brutal than anything at the time. The band initially consisted of Lemmy on bass and vocals, Larry Wallace on guitar, and Lucas Fox on drums, although this lineup quickly changed with the arrival of Fast Eddie Clarke on guitar and Bill Filthy Animal Taylor on drums, forming the classic trio known as Motörhead's best lineup. Motörhead's music was a unique blend of punk, metal, and rock and roll, with high speed and energy. Their debut album, Motörhead, 1977, although not a commercial success, began to put them on the map of the underground music scene. However, it was the subsequent albums like Overkill, 1979, Bomber, 1979, and especially Ace of Spades, 1980, that made them legends. The song Ace of Spades became one of the greatest anthems in rock history, and these albums are considered crucial pillars in the development of heavy metal and thrash metal music. Lemmy was known for his raspy vocal style, heavy and aggressive bass playing, and lyrics often related to street life, gambling, war, and personal freedom. Throughout his career, Motörhead released over 20 studio albums, with other hits like Overkill, Iron Fist, and Killed by Death. The band was also famous for their intense touring schedule and reputation as one of the loudest live bands in the world. Lemmy was the true personification of the rock and roll lifestyle. With his favorite drink, Jack Daniels, and his famous smoking habit, he lived life hard and without compromise. However, behind his tough image, Lemmy was an intellectual with a deep interest in World War II history and a vast collection of war memorabilia. While many of his peers fell due to the hard lifestyle, Lemmy endured for decades. However, his health began to decline in the later years of his life. Despite this, he remained committed to making music, performing on stage until the end of his life. On December 28, 2015, Lemmy passed away at the age of 70 from cancer, which had been diagnosed just 2 days earlier. His departure left a huge void in the music world, but his legacy lives on through his music and lasting influence. The band officially ceased activity after the death of Lemmy Kilmister on December 28, 2015. Lemmy was the founder, vocalist, and primary bassist of the band, and his influence was so significant that Motörhead could not continue without him. After his death, the two remaining members of Motörhead, Mickey D, drums, and Phil Campbell, guitar, confirmed that the band would not continue without Lemmy, ending their long journey in the world of rock and metal music. Lemmy Kilmister is not only remembered as a music icon, but also as a symbol of resilience, freedom, and boundless spirit. Motörhead's music has inspired many bands and musicians across various genres, from metal to punk. The philosophy of born to lose, live to win that he embraced became a mantra for many of his fans. Lemmy may be gone, but his raspy voice, hard playing, and indomitable spirit will continue to live on in every drum beat and guitar riff in the world of rock and roll. For those who love hard music and living without compromise, Lemmy Kilmister will always be the irreplaceable king.